Hello to all of our BPTV fans, YouTube fans, new guest fan and friend now. We'll tell you his name in a bit. I'm Al Levine, the Talking Machine, doing our by request show for the last 8 months. Jessica Lee, it's amazing. She's co-producer, co-host with me, and she's the catalyst with the request that she gets. It's called By Request. You can check out all of our previous shows if you haven't seen us. And I got to bring you up to Jess because she has two amazing songs for us. Hello, Jess.
Hey, Al, nice to see you. Nice to
Nice
be
to see you.
seen.
Yes.
Hey, I just want to thank everybody for continuing to send the song requests. So a lot of people are sending them to my website, Al, just Jessica Lee, LEEjazz.com. Keep them coming. I've enjoyed just seeing what the requests have been, Al, during the pandemic. And
Oh,
now that we're
sure.
coming to the end, we're coming
Yes.
out the other side of this coronavirus pandemic. I'm very excited to go back to live shows. In June, I'm going to start singing live. We're going to keep this show going maybe twice a month. And before we go too far, we do have a special guest. But before we bring him on, what are you drinking?
Let me get a sip. Oh, you got your cup too. White tea, I hope.
Yeah.
I'm drinking Lung Ching fourth grade by Loose Leaf Green Tea. Very tasty. It's one of my favorites. Excuse me while I sip.
Well, wait. To your health. To
Mm.
your health.
To your
Oh.
health too. Sip by sip to better health.
So white tea, green tea. Let's bring in our guest. He might be drinking something himself. I'm not sure what it is he's drinking. Let's bring him on, Al. Who do we have here?
Okay. Please
Michael?
introduce me to him officially since I met him unofficially.
Well, I'm going to let him introduce himself to you. I'm going to give you a little sneak preview that he has been doing something very special, this gentleman who we're bringing on during the pandemic. He
Okay.
has been using his venue as a veterans center during the day to help military veterans during the pandemic. And in the evening, he has a beautiful venue for live music, and it's coming back strong. It's called The Forge. Michael, come tell everybody, give us your formal name, your many company affiliations, your wine company, as well as The Forge. Tell everybody about you and your efforts during COVID and beyond.
Okay, again, my name is Michael Lesovich. I have a winery called Wines of America. So we're farm to table. We grow our grapes, make our own wine, and sell it internationally now. It slowed down during COVID, but it'll pick back up. And then from that, we opened a couple venues, music venues, wine venues. One here in Homestead called The Forge, and one up in Franklin called Vino and Vibes. So they're both wine-centric and music-friendly. So we're trying to bring a bunch of music people in and play and just have a great time. And during, so The Forge here was only open about 3-4 weeks before COVID, and then we shut down for about a year. So during that time, I'm also a veteran. I was a 40-year Marine Corps veteran.
Thank you for your service.
My pleasure. They finally caught up with me and said, "You can't stay that long." I said, "Why not? I keep showing up. You keep paying me. It's a good situation."
Yes.
But yeah, I had to go.
I got
So
you.
when I retired a few years back, came home and opened up these venues. And during The Forge, everything was shut down. So I had a lot of veteran friends. We actually lost a lot of friends from suicide during that time. And it just got worse. They have enough troubles, but with the isolation of COVID, it was terrible, nowhere to go. So I decided to open this facility up under my nonprofit called Meadows Edge. And we started a new program, which is the brick and mortar, which is Veterans Helping Veterans. So Monday through Friday, 8 to 4, we're open. The venue up, we sort of close off the bar part. We have curtains that close. And it's sort of a USO type environment. So veterans come in and hang out. We serve breakfast, lunch, coffee all day. And we partner with 42 great veteran organizations, mostly in the Pittsburgh area. Everyone from the VA to all the different vets organizations that provide services. So we basically went through all the different services a veteran could need and brought in the right partners, vetted them to make sure that they're actually helping the veteran. They're not making money off the veteran. They follow through with the veteran. So we act as the coordinator. So veterans come in and we figure out what they need, and then we align them with the proper services to get what they need, whether it's medical, life skills, jobs, volunteerism, just someone to talk to, a place to hang out. So it's under our suicide prevention project, but not billed that way. We want to intervene before it gets to that stage. So, we had a struggle, of course, because we weren't really allowed to be open, but we fought it because they needed a place to go. And under Meadows Edge, our nonprofit, the one big project that it started with was human trafficking. We combat that, and we work in 22 countries. And then we work on it's a mobile app, but it's a crisis app for veterans when they need help. And this project here, Veterans Helping Veterans, is to help them before they get to the crisis. So am I allowed to talk about the 26th?
Yeah. So, Michael, that's a wonderful overview. And you've been doing God's work during the pandemic, before the pandemic, during the pandemic, and you're going to be doing it post-pandemic too. So, yeah, on June 26th, you are having a really wonderful all-day event. Tell us a little bit about that, because it combines both the music and the Veterans Assistance programs.
Thanks, Jess. So on the 26th, we have our Veterans Helping Veterans Day. So it's a event here in Homestead under the bridge. So it's an Under the Bridge festival. And the whole purpose of that is to awareness for the community and veterans, to bring them down, to show them all the different services we have, and to get together. And not just veterans. We would like, the regular community to come down, shake a veteran's hand, say thank you, just meet them and see what they're about. So we'll have a number of about 20 booths of our providers of different services we offer. We're going to have a stage. So we have music all day. We have food trucks, beer trucks, wine trucks, National Guard setting up displays. We're getting the old antique vehicles that are restored from World War II. The Jeeps and half tracks will be down. ROTC's providing corner security and help for people. We'll have some children's booths set up, the balloon tying and stuff. And then the one draw is the motorcycle memorial ride. So if you know any bikers, you're a biker and want to ride that day, we have a ride going from here to the National Cemetery of the Alleghenies. Gold Star families will be there. We'll do wreath layings on the graves, come back, and then just have a great day.
Michael, you're also going to have a stage set up for live music, and you're going to be playing live music from when to when?
From 10 to 5. So we have a DJ and announcer the whole time, and then bands and entertainers such as yourself have graciously volunteered their time for an hour show to come in and support our veterans. So during the day, different bands will change out, and we'll just have a good time.
It's going to be beautiful. So that's June 26th. It's under the Homestead Bridge near the waterfront, right, Michael, in Pittsburgh?
Yes.
The waterfront that a lot of people know. And I think I'm going to be there around 1 o'clock in the afternoon singing some to support your great cause. I can't wait. And Michael, you also have been really supportive of live musicians. And we all know that veterans have had a hard time during COVID and the pandemic. Musicians have as well. Restaurants have as well. And you're getting ready, really, it looks like in the summer, to have a ton of beautiful live music at the Forge in Homestead. I think I'm looking forward to being there on Saturday, June 12th, with the guitar great Mark Strickland, pianist Rick Gallagher, and make some joyful noise. But tell everybody what to expect on the evenings when you're open for the live music. What is that like? Is there a cover charge? What's available to drink, to eat? Tell us a little bit about that.
Okay, so again, until COVID opens the stores fully, we're just open on Thursday, Friday, and Saturdays now, because we've been closed for almost a year. So Thursdays is karaoke. Fridays features live entertainment, different bands. We're trying to help out a bunch of bands. So the better known bands will be the feature band, and we're opening the doors for that hour or two before the band starts. If there's any musicians out there that just want to come down and play for an hour to open, to get their name out, they're welcome to come down. Saturdays is normally Rick Gallagher on piano and a vocalist. We have like 3 or 4 Jessies down here that sing. So I think Jessica Sides and Jess Sides and Jessica. Oh my goodness. Sorry. There's another Jessica. They come down and sing with Rick, and sometimes the sax guy comes in, and that's usually Saturday. So Saturday is a little more laid back, and we have racks of games. So we're a laid back place. When it's a quiet piano lounge, jazz music, people sit around, build puzzles, play games, drink. We feature about 34 different wines. We have a full bar and a number of beers, light fare. We've redone our stage because we invite musicians down, and a lot of them don't have their own equipment or can't haul it around. So we just put a whole new sound system in, 16 channel board, all kind of amps and all the stuff I really don't know anything about, but it sounds really good. The speaker system and
Michael, you have a grand piano, don't you?
Yeah, we have a grand piano on stage. People can come play. And we put this week, hopefully to be in this week, we have a big video panel board on the back of the stage. So artists can either bring in their own video backdrop, PowerPoints, or we can put it up, and we're installing cameras to feature the artists while they're playing and just make it a great experience for them.
Michael, how large of a place is it?
It's about 4,000 square feet.
Okay. How many people are you allowed in at this point in time?
This point or as of next week?
Next week.
As of next week, because by the time this airs,
June 1st is coming. So
we'll be up to, it's either 130 or 150.
Okay. No, I just wanted to give the people an idea of the size.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, Al, so it's just everybody come first come, first served, right, Michael? Everybody come, and there's no cover charge, right, Michael?
Yeah, no cover charge. We don't charge for cover, so.
I'll be there on the 12th. I guarantee it then.
And before COVID, when we first opened up and Jess and Mark were in, I think had about 220 people that night.
I'm telling you, it was fantastic. Yeah, the great guitarist Mark Strickland and I went down and had the chance to play for a soft opening, one of your soft opening nights, Mike, before COVID. And it was magical down there. We had so many great people and terrific wine, and like you said, light fare for food. But it's a great atmosphere. It's a beautiful stage. And there are a lot of places that don't have a stage anymore. And
Right.
there are many places that don't have a real piano, let alone a grand. It's a beautiful venue. Michael, you've really invested quite a lot for the community there.
Yeah, we're trying. Everyone does their part, and it takes a village.
Yeah. Tell us about your Veterans Wall. Isn't there a special wall inside the Forge?
Yeah, it's called Boulevard of Heroes. So it's sort of evolved. So on the one side, we actually repurposed the old gas lights from Homestead. So down that hallway, we have the original gas street lights.
Right.
And suspended from the ceiling, we have we believe it's the original horse-drawn fire truck from Homestead, 1880. It was a horse-drawn hand pumper. It's hanging from the ceiling. And on the wall, we feature photographs of veterans. So when veterans come in, we try to have them bring their photos in to hang on the wall so we can honor them and people can see them and send them in. So yeah, that's our Boulevard of Heroes.
So
Very
photographs are welcome.
Yes. And at the end, we have our missing man table and different memorabilia. We just had a couple of uniforms donated from World War II from the pastor. So on Sundays, the local church had a fire. So actually Sunday mornings, we open this as the church and they hold their services here, and it's video streamed out. And the pastor brought in some old uniforms for us, and we actually found ID cards in the pockets of them from back in World War II when they were getting paid $28 a month. And so some cool stuff.
That is cool. Very cool.
So Michael, before we let you go, and what a segue, because one of the requested songs this week was How Great Thou Art. And I just threw that one out on social media to answer and honor a song request. But How Great Thou Art, and here you guys are doing church in the Forge as well. And so that was a great segue into the first song that we'll hear in a minute here on this show. But tell everybody, how is it easiest to find the Forge in Homestead if they're looking for you and they have not been there before? What's the best way?
So we're just off the intersection of 7th and Amity. So catty corner across is the Aldi's, and then the other side is the bank building with the axe throwing, and then right across the street from us is the Borough building.
Yeah, yeah. And what's your actual address there?
210 East 7th Avenue.
210 East 7th Avenue, and it's Homestead, Pittsburgh.
Yeah, 1512.
Yes, so can't wait for that. And I have to tell you before we let you go that, first of all, thank you for everything that you do for so many, Michael. Thank you. And second of all, Franklin, I think you mentioned Franklin. I actually spent quite a few years in Franklin growing up there. I wasn't born there. My family's all settled in Pittsburgh, and I was born on a military kind of hospital in Virginia. But, you know, my whole family, Slovak, Italian, came to Pittsburgh, my great-grandparents. But my parents took jobs in Franklin, Pennsylvania for a time. So I was there in high school. And is that right? The same Franklin, or is that a different Franklin? This one's up by Oil City.
Yep, same one. So right on the main drag of Liberty, sort of, there's the PNC down on one side and the McDonald's up a little bit the other way.
Okay, so you guys are in Franklin, PA as well.
Yep, called Vino and Vibes.
I'm gonna have to check that one out as well. All right,
Yeah.
That's wonderful. Well,
What a
Michael,
small world. What a small world.
it's a small,
Yeah.
tiny world, and I can't wait to see you on June 12th. We'll be there, and I think we're gonna play something like 7 to 10 that evening for you on June 12th, Saturday, and then June 26th, I hope everybody and their brother comes out to the Homestead Bridge underneath and celebrates Veterans Helping Veterans with you. Any last thoughts that you'd like to share with the viewing audience today?
Just, we'd appreciate it if you come out on the 26th and support our veterans. And all the new musicians out there, the musicians that have been shut down for a while, give me a call, and, you know, we'll at least let you open for an hour or two if we're booked. So come down and play and get to know people and join the fun. We'd love to meet you.
All right. And now some people are going to say, you know what, I'm most interested in his wines. So how do they find a little bit out about your wine business?
So if you look at the forgeurbanwinery.com website, it explains all our wines. Last year, well, actually the year before, we were blessed that we had 5 international winners.
Congrats. That's
Yeah.
great.
So we have some great wines. We have vineyard space in California, New York, and Pennsylvania. So we make wine from all across the U.S. So whether you want a nice dry red to a sweeter white, we got you covered.
That's beautiful. Well, Michael, I know that everybody's going to love learning about the Forge and coming down and checking it out and revisiting many times. And we hope everybody comes out and hangs out during the day. You know, I think you guys are ending at 5 o'clock or so on the 26th of June. Is that about right? From morning time, 10 till 5?
Yeah, 10 to 5. And then, you know, probably a lot of people we're only 2 blocks away here at the Forge. So they'll be coming over and we'll have some music and stuff. And
that's it.
Celebrate the day.
Okay. Well, we're going to let you go. Al, isn't it great to meet Michael?
It's so great. Great to meet you, Mike. And I'll be there on the 12th to preview the place. So
okay. We look forward to seeing you.
Can't wait to meet you and shake your hand, sir.
Yeah, thank you so much. We appreciate it.
Have a great
Michael.
day. You're welcome.
See you soon.
Okay, thank you.
Bye-bye.
Have a good day. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
So, Al, I want to say that, you know, Michael's been doing God's work. What do you say we go to that first song request and take a listen to How Great Thou Art?
I got my notes ready, Jessica Lee. Let's listen to Jessica Lee's great song.
Hey everybody, this is Jessica Lee. I'm here by request. This is a song called How Great Thou Art. Oh Lord my God, when I the works your hands have made. I see the stars, I hear the rolling of thunder, thy power throughout the universe display. Then sings my soul, my Savior God, to thee. How great thou art, how great thou art. Then sings my soul, my Savior God, to thee. How great thou art, how great thou art. In through the woods and forest glades I wander and hear the birds sing sweetly in the trees. When I look down from lofty mountain grandeur, and I hear that brook, and I feel the gentle breeze. Then sings my soul, my Savior God, to thee. How great thou art, how great thou art. Then sings my soul, my Savior God, to thee. How great thou art, how great, how great thou art.
What a great song, great playing, Jessica Lee. I love the little tinkling of the keys at the end of the song. Just a beautiful song. Listen to all the words, and it just a truly great song.
Al, I have to tell you that everybody's been through it. There's been a lot of pain with COVID, with deaths, with sickness, with anxiety and depression. We've had a lot of people struggling with tension with politics and racial relations and, all kinds of things. And we need some healing now. And that song came from somebody who was praying for healing for all of us now, unity. And I thought it was a great song request. You'll notice I only sang the original 2 verses.
Right.
There's more. Other people wrote additional lyrics after that, but I only sang the original 2 written by the Swedish poet. So tell us what you found about the song.
Okay, I agree with you because I found out so much more. And it's a Christian Swedish hymn and poem written by Carl Boberg. And it was in Monsteris, Sweden in 1885. It was translated in English from Russian by English missionary, a British missionary, Stuart K. Hine, who also added 2 original verses to his own translation, like Jess said. So she's spot on as usual. So I dug a little deeper.
So Al, verse 3 and verse 4 were written subsequently.
Yes.
Not by the original author. That's why I only sang the first too, intentionally. And the music itself was just a super old Swedish folk song. So it's not
Yes.
copyrighted, it's not protected in that way, it's public domain. It's so old. So keep going. I think it's awesome.
Okay. It was popularized by George Beverly Shea and Cliff Barrows during the Billy Graham Crusades. So they were everywhere doing this. It was voted the UK's most favorite hymn by BBC's Songs of Praise. How's that? Most favorite.
And I've heard that I've heard how that many people put Amazing Grace up there. Some put Amazing Grace first and this one second, or vice versa.
I
But
got
they're
that.
up there.
You're pre-up, and so then I found Christian Today magazine has it rated, as Jess preluded this, #2 to Amazing Grace. So they have it as #2. Amazing Grace is #1. And we're all fans of Amazing Grace, as we know. So that's pretty cool. And here's the interesting story on what Moberg was inspired by after church. He was walking from the Swedish church with friends, and they were listening to the church bells. Then a thundercloud came out, lightning was flashing, with strong winds and rain. In a little while, they made it home and the storm was over. Guess what they saw? A rainbow. And they also heard the church bells started playing again. And he first published the song in 1886. And it was an English translation was written in 1925 by E. Gustav Johnson. And it included the verses 1, 2, and 7 and 9. So that was his. In the United States, it was known as Oh Mighty God. So here's the transition with titles and things. And then in 1949, the missionary wrote his paraphrase he had a Russian gospel magazine called Grace and Peace. And listen to this. The British missionaries spread this worldwide, because guess what? They were missionaries. So that's how it became popular worldwide. What a story and what a song, Jess.
Yeah, it's a powerful song, and many of the lyrics that were written subsequently are beautiful as well. I just thought I'd focus on the original too for today's request, and I've been talking with a lot of people, Al, and there seems to be many people right now who want to come together and try to work to heal any division that we still have in our societies, our communities, our towns, our cities, and really work to, bring out of this pandemic some silver lining lessons learned, and to work together towards a more peaceful kind of way of engaging with each other and living together despite differences. And so I hope that people enjoyed this version of How Great Thou Art. I did it first thing in the morning today. I was tired. I was really tired. So I hope they enjoyed it. I gave it an effort, the old college try, to pray while I played the piano and sang this morning. But I also want to say that the next song request, our second song request, really has to do with looking into the future now and getting out and seeing each other. For those of us who are fully vaccinated, Al, I am, and you are, and
yes,
there are many who are looking forward to getting together again this summer. And I am seeing a lot of live music happening this summer. And so the more I see you was requested. The more I see you, the more I want you. It's just a wonderful, happy, upbeat jazz swing tune. And we have a version that I'd like to share with everybody as we go out that features the great guitarist Mark Strickland. I believe Chris Hemingway, the beautiful saxophonist, is on this particular song, soloing. Max Leake on keys, Roger Humphreys on drums, and just many great musicians on this Rhythms of Anyway album. And Mike Houlis on bass, and we may even have a little George Jones on conga drums on this one, and some percussion. But tremendous musicians, and we're all looking forward to seeing them again, and to seeing all of you if you wanted to come out. There's jessicaleejazz.com/shows. It'll show some of our open to public shows this summer, many of which are outside and super safe. So,
Yes.
Al, what do you have to say about the reopening and your final thoughts on getting
Well,
together again this
I
summer?
dug deep and I went deeper than I normally do because the two gentlemen that I was interested in with what you put down is composed by Harry Warren, lyrics by Mack Gordon. And I have some information on them because they're so prolific. I'll get into that in a minute or two that it just knocked my socks off because I did it when I saw the information. And it was originally sung by Dick Haymes in the 1945 film Diamond Horseshoe. So this is where it got its start. And Harry Warren was a prolific songwriter, lyricist, and I'll get into his facts in a little bit, but I'll go here. Now in 1966, Chris Montez, he released the most successful, well-known recording of this version, and it's been used in many films. It was also used in a Roman Polanski movie starring Harrison Ford called Frantic. So, I mean, that's where I heard it. And, you know, it brought back memories when I heard you sing it in Rhythms of Anyway. And I listen to the CD every once in a while. And it's just such a great song, Jess. Thank you. And you sounded great. And the musicians are perfect. And here's what happened with him. His version went to number 16 on the big board hit 100s, and it spent 4 weeks at number 2 on the easy listening chart. So it was just a great popular song. And I'll get into Harry Warren a little bit. He's actually a Goomba of yours. His name was Salvatore Antonio Baragna, and he was born in 1893, and he was one of 11 children. And his dad changed their name when they were children. So that's how he became Harry Warren. So you talk about interesting. And he was in the different vaudeville and different entertaining things, and growing up in Brooklyn. You know, he started as a young man, and he was an American composer and lyricist, like I said. And he was, listen to this. This is why I was glad to dig. He was the first major songwriter to primarily write for theaters and movie. Now, this is the first guy. Imagine what we've had since the 30s and 20s, and he was doing it. His first hit was The Rose of the Rio Grande movie in 1922. He was nominated for an Academy Award Best Original Song 11 times. He won 3 different times. He wrote over 800 songs, was in 300 films. 112 songs were in Warner Brothers Looney Tunes and Melody cartoons.
Wow.
So he was just prolific.
Wow.
And for the radio program Hit Parade, which was popular back in the day, he had 21 number 1 songs in there. And he actually had more number 1 hits. Listen to this. It surprised me again. He had more hits than the legendary Irving Berlin. How cool is that, Jess? You picked a huge winner.
And Al, not a household name.
This is what I wanted to get into. He was known as the Invisible Man because he stayed in the background, and they just said about how this song became a number 1. It was called Chattanooga Choo Choo, and it was performed by Glenn Miller Orchestra, and it was the first, how about this, first gold recording in history, sold 1.2 million copies, and that's and nobody knows about him. And him, you know, and Mack Gordon, they wrote some songs and collaborated too. I have a little on Mack Gordon because he's another legendary guy. But some of his songs, and you'll recognize him. He said, "Now you know." And
whose songs? Al, whose songs? You've been talking about a couple of guys. So who are you talking about right now?
Harry Warren. Now you know, and then There'll Never Be Another You. I Only Have Eyes for You. Amore, and many more. And I'll cover a few with Mack Gordon. So that was my tease for Mack Gordon. He was also born with a different name, Morris Gittler, in 1904 in Russia. His family settled in New Jersey, and he's an American composer and lyricist, just like our previous gentleman, Warren. And he was nominated himself for 11 Best Academy Award songs, including 5 nominations in a row. How about that? From 1940 to 1944. And he won 1 for You Never Know. Him and Warren collaborated. That's why I didn't want to jump ahead, but they collaborated. That's the combination of both of them. And I can't even tell you how many songs they wrote, because it was hundreds that they wrote together.
Yeah, it's great. And for people to just hear those names and check them out and remember them, right, Al?
Oh, it's just so prolific here with what they did. And, you know, I could go on, but we got to cut back a little bit, because I did want to mention Chris Montez, because he also started out.
So people, you're throwing a lot of facts and names. So Chris Montez, you said he was one of the performers, right?
Yes, and he's
okay.
The one
Now
that,
I just want to throw out there for lay people who aren't into all the nitty gritty on music so much. So many people have sung this song over the years, as you saw, Al, in your research. Sarah Vaughan, I mean, everybody. There's everybody and their brother.
You name them, and they sing.
Yeah, has included this on recordings. Pittsburgh's own Billy Eckstine.
Yes.
Did and more, and it continues. Michael Bublé today, in our current times, people are doing their own versions of this song, The More I See You. So Al, I'm going to give you a final word, but we're running a little long, so I'm going to give you a final word, and then let's just end today, you know, thanking everybody for continuing to send your song requests into jessicaleejazz.com or social media to Al Levine and myself. Thank you for the song requests. Keep them coming. We will honor them as we can. And I think we're going to go out listening to this song, Al, our recording of this song. But I'm going to give you the final word, and thank you and Dave Cable and BPTV for allowing us to continue this by request television show. Go ahead, Al.
You're welcome, Jessica Lee. And Chris Montez, the reason I brought him out is he brought it to the forefront in 1966. So just remember that thought, that this has been around since 45, but it took another guy. And he's famous for a quote. That's what I wanted to put out there. He was doing acts with Sam Cooke and others, and he was in England. And they had this opening act called The Beatles. He goes, "Who are those guys?" So he's the guy that said that. And look what they became. This is when they first started out. They opened for 2 of his shows in the UK. I'm going to hit a period right now. Thank all of you for our by requests. Thank you, Jessica Lee, for what you presented today. It knocked me right over with all this great information. True legends in the music world, which I appreciate and respect all the hard work you and all the great musicians and singers do. That's why I'm a huge fan and want to keep promoting this. So I'm going to shut up. Please listen to this on the way out. You'll just enjoy it, and the show will be over, and we'll be again back to you in 2 weeks with by request. Please keep watching and sending those by requests. Signing off right now. Stay tuned listening, please.
The more I see you, the more I want you. Somehow this feeling just grows and grows. With every sigh, I become more mad about you. Can't live without you, and so it goes. Can you imagine how much I love you? The more I see you as years go by, I know the only one for me can only
Jane, just how much I love you. The more I see you, as years go by, I know the only one for me can only be you. My arms won't free, my heart won't cry, nor these arms, they won't